Hi, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Jelena.
Welcome to our YouTube tutorial on BADDHA HASTA SIRSASANA.
This is part 2.
This is part 2 of the headstands, the 7 headstands at the end of intermediate, but this is part 1 of the BADDHA. These are the BADDHA versions. The other ones, the ones that came before, are the mukta. Mukta, freed, open hands, and now BADDHA is bound hands.
And we have 4 of them.
Yep. A, B, C, D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So before we tell you anything really profound, I want to make sure that you have subscribed or liked, and please comment and just say hi even.
Okay.
Well, nothing wrong with saying that, right? We read all the comments. I do, at least. Okay. So
I read the ones about the dogs.
yeah. Maybe our dog is here. Maybe he'll make an appearance.
Sleeping.
He's sleeping right now, yeah.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go through the vinyasa quickly, and then we'll break it down a bit more. Pretty easy vinyasa count, thank God, but maybe not so easy to do. So we go sapta from downward dog into the preparation. First one is kind of like exactly like the closing headstand that we do in the closing sequence. So ashtau, here we come up, straight legs, and hold for 5, nasagrai drishti. And then nava, we're going to change the hands and exhale, come down, chaturanga dandasana, dasha, inhale, yekadasha, exhale. And then B, sapta, we set up, this time holding the elbows. Yep. And then ashtau, straight legs come up. This one's trick here. Hold here, 5 breaths, nasagrai drishti, and then nava, switch your hands and exhale, come down. Dasha, inhale, yekadasha, exhale. C, sapta, inhale, prepare. This one's like pincha, like forearm, pincha mayurasana, but with the head down, walk the feet in. Ashtau, inhale, come back up. Hold here, 5 breaths, nasagrai drishti. And then nava, switch the hands, exhale, come down. Dasha, inhale. Yekadasha, exhale. Last one, D, sapta, inhale, prepare. So you come into that same forearm balance. And then ashtau, lift up. This time Jelena is holding the shoulders with the backs of the shoulders with the hands. 5 breaths here. And nava, exhale, come down. Dasha, inhale. Yekadasha, exhale. Good. So, pretty straightforward, but, hard to do. If you have trouble headstanding, each one of them is going to be hard to do. And, because you're changing your base around, it can get a little bit tricky.
I think what's trickiest about these ones is the switching of the hands from being bound in one way or another to that Chatwari position. I think with the first 3, that switch is a little bit easier because the hands are already
Mukta.
Yeah, like they're either here or in front or on the side, so it's easier to bring them. But here you gotta release.
You gotta untie
the hold or whatever.
The BADDHA. Yeah. I always tell my students to choose their moment. If you need to take an extra breath, take an extra breath. Like, don't just try to rush through it because you'll get all tangled up. So you gotta, be very present for a second and get a strategy and then switch. Yeah, the transition stuff. And we talked about this in the last video, but it's worth repeating here. You're bearing all your weight on your neck in these poses. And so it's important to sort of remain as upright and stable as you can, because if you start to fall while your hands are in the transition, then your weight's going to shift on your neck, and it's not a good place to be because it's unstable, and so you can kind of compromise your neck. So try to always go back to the tripod position before you come down.
Yeah, and again, all of these are about staying connected in your core. So really getting the pelvic floor engaged and getting all of these muscles to provide a support so that your upper body and your lower body are working together. And then that's emphasized as you go back into that Chaturanga position where you go kind of very rigid and the hands are doing support. And so the chin and chest kind of go forward a little bit as the legs come down, but really nothing changes in your body. You kind of maintain that
Trying to hold that
samastiti.
line. Yeah.
Side.
You don't want to like slingshot your feet to the floor.
Yeah, it can be super bad on your back. It can take up too much shock.
I hear the flexible people, I hear their feet hit the floor. Whack.
Because their legs kind of like it does that.
Yeah, if you're like us, if you're more rigid, then in this case it'll work for you. It's easier to hold that line.
So the first one, really, you're already doing this in the closing. It's
There's probably not that much to discuss.
No, except the entrance here is again a bit trickier because you're maintaining the upward dog position, and so you're lowering down onto your elbows from downward dog and binding. We're not coming down onto the knees.
Yeah.
Which is, I was doing that before in my closing as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do that too in closing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed you do it a little different. I hold the tripod, I come in, and then I put my hands into position. But you're lowering onto your elbows and then coming into position.
What do you do?
I come to the tripod and then I set up.
Oh.
Yeah. So I put my head down in a tripod shape and come in. It's kind of like
no,
just a more, that extra step. You could, if you can support yourself and you can come straight into it, you can come to that
like
too.
me?
Yeah, the way that you were doing it, you were
I go
going
straight.
straight. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Watch. So Jelena was doing it this way. She does this, kind of comes onto the arms there and then brings the, and I come into it. So I would come forward more, tripod, the same way that we do it in the Mukta Hasta, and then bring my hands into whatever position it is. Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah. I guess I'm a man of habit. Because it's the same pattern that you do all through the first ones. But doesn't really matter as long as you get there by the end of that inhale, sapta, into the setup position. Like that. And then ashta, from there you could lift up. Yeah. Okay, and then it's worth watching this for a second, a little bit carefully. So on Nava, watch Jelena is going to bring her hands back first and then lower down. And that would all be on the exhale. Okay, Dasha, inhale, Ekadasha, exhale.
I know I'm always in the back. There's like a long mat and I'm always practicing it in the back. Okay.
Okay, and then, so the B one is trickier because the arms are not as like dimensional. Do you know what I mean? They're in a line. And so your head is one of the supports, definitely now. You don't have the wrists pushing into the floor. And then it's hard sometimes to get the weight to bear down through the elbows, but try to keep the arms connected to the floor. And you just wrap your hands around the outside of the elbows or tie one hand on the inside of the elbow. And then inhale, come up, ashta.
And then for me, my tip is here to keep thinking about rolling my hands away from the head.
Okay.
So that my shoulders aren't collapsing, but that activates them here.
Roll the hands away. Come up. Good. That will protract the scapula. That'll keep the upper back strong. And then again, from here, you're going to have to figure out your moment. Yep. Good. Okay. And then C. This is just like Pinchamayurasana. So elbows on the floor. And try to keep your wrists more or less parallel. Feet walk in, lift up. It's not as bad as pincha, in my opinion, with the head down. The same thing, you're reaching through the forearms, pressing into the hands, trying to keep the shoulders pressed back. And then again, now you just slide your hands straight back. Yep. So there's a little bit of traveling going on with the, that's why you're at the back of the mat now. And then inhale for D.
That's why I always have to do this.
Yeah, exactly. And then hands come onto the back here, see, with the fingers together, and then lift up. Good. So this is probably the most precarious of all of them, because you've now just got the elbows on the floor. And press the hands into your back, reach down with your elbows, keep your front ribs in. And then again, tricky switch on the nava, exhale to tripod, and then come down. Yeah.
What, you think the last one's the hardest?
For me, yeah, I find that one hard. Yeah.
No, I find C.
No, I find C pretty easy. Yeah.
I find C. And then I see like assisting people in the room. That's the one that they have a lot of trouble pressing into. Keeping the legs straight to press up compared to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let us know which one you think is easiest or hardest.
Yeah. And please, comment, like, and subscribe.
See you soon.
Bye.